And we're here in Talladega for the 10th race of the NAPA Sim XFINITY Series season, the biggest and baddest track on the NAPA Sim schedule here. And first off, we head to the NAPA Sim XFINITY Series here. They're going to be the first drivers to take on Talladega. 38 drivers for 57 laps. It is going to be a long one here at Talladega, a chaotic one. The second super speedway on the schedule. We head to Daytona earlier this season, and it was a wild race. We saw some big crashes, and we saw Bug take home the win. But now all these drivers have been able to set into the season. We're now 9 races in, starting our 10th race. Points are beginning to shake out a little bit, and we're starting to see who are going to be the contenders this season. But Talladega could shake the entire points battle up big time. We got 2 Apex Autosport drivers leading the field of green. It's Rookie Supra next to Doug in the 08. I am Dylan, joined by Mac and Chris in the booth. Guys, welcome to Talladega. Who knows what we're going to expect today, but Mac, if you have to put it into words, what could we possibly see today here at Talladega?
This track is the pinnacle of chaos here in the NAPA Sim Series. Xfinity here was particularly wild last season, where we saw a very slow bug cause a humongous wreck, and that resulted in Perry Spore, who's running the Cup race as well this weekend, get a win here last season. This is a perfect place for an underdog to get a win and shake up the playoff battle massively. Yeah. And if you're one of these struggling guys, this is your best bet for not even just that, but for a good finish to get your season back on track.
And as for me, I think the point has to be reiterated that this is one of the most intimidating tracks on the schedule, right? We went to 2 tracks in the similar kind of length of this. We went to Daytona and we went to Motegi. Of course, Motegi was more handling based than Daytona was, and Daytona by far had more chaos than Motegi, but it's so hard to win at this racetrack, just like Daytona, because it doesn't matter how fast your car is. You could be you can have a fast car, but the key to winning this race is being there at the very end, and it's going to be a key of survival for many of these guys, like we saw earlier in the year. And I think we're going to see who does the best at that at the very end.
Yeah, we saw at Daytona, you couldn't hold the lead at all. The second you give up that bottom end of the slide, someone's going to get under you. There is barely any teamwork here in the NAPA Sim Series. No matter who you are, you're going to make a move the second you see it. You want to be in control, because it is so important to be leading there at the end of the race and make your own destiny. But if you were those guys on the bottom, 3-4 rows back at the end, you got to take advantage, get those runs, and try and jump to the front. It's not about the beginning of the race. It's about being there at the end, but you still got to survive the wrecks that could occur throughout the race. And we saw a lot of chaos in qualifying. Let's get to our starting grid. In row 1, leading the field, the green, 2 Toyotas, Apex Autosport drivers, Supra and Doug. Back to row 2, Flower and Javier. Row 3, it's a pair of Shremensky West drivers with Raven and Dalton. Row 4, Scene and Bug. Row 5, Spend and Nexus Code. Row 6, Dan and Dylan. And back to row 7, Peyton and Brett Blue in the 5.
There we go. Row 8, we have a Jack and TXN. Then how about row 9, Lab Nuke in the 77 alongside new points leader Data. And to round out the top 20, joining us is CJ and Cole. Following them in row 11, it's Mike and Matthew. Followed in row 12, Sub NASCAR and Riley Davis Jr. And in row 13 is Boko Blitz and Anna Kate.
And then in row 14, we have the 38 of Gino Kep starting on the inside, while Perry's on the outside of him. Behind them, we got Chase in the 04 next to Dexterity in the 44. Behind them, another poor qualifying effort for Sunbelt. That's the 9 of Sean next to the 4 of Noah. And then we got the 8 of NASCAR Sim next to the 51 of Commander. And then we got the 10 of Redeem next to Sheldon Preed. And then in the final row, we got Robin Hood on the hood for Witty on the outside line of the 53 of Arctic.
2 D&Qs here for Talladega in a shocking turn of events. Mac DNQ'd in the 56. That entry is low on owner points. And as we saw, Sunbelt did not have a good qualifying effort at all. And that definitely messed up their speed. But we will see Mac in the Cup race. And Bellet was our other DNQ. 57 laps. This is going to be a wild one at Talladega. Everyone hold your breath, because we are ready to go racing at the biggest and baddest track on the schedule.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines are fired. These drivers are ready to go at Talladega. Who is going to get the victory? Anyone can do it. Let's see who it'll be after 57 laps at Talladega. And the field is rolling here. Supra will get to lead the field to green, but not in a truck, in an Xfinity car. His first pole in the NAPA Sim XFINITY Series. And this is only going to be, what, his second start of the season? He DNQ'd Auto Club and made Motegi. Oh, and he also ran Phoenix in the 08. But for the 80, he has not made many starts. But now he is on the pole with Doug to his outside, who also qualified P2 for the Cup race. The Toyotas have shown speed all weekend, and you'll see that with the top 4 all being Toyotas, and Cup tomorrow also has a lot of Toyotas up in the front. But first, we got to focus on the Xfinity Series. 57 laps at Talladega. We are ready to go green. As here we come into the tri-oval here. The start-finish line all the way at pit exit. So these drivers still got a little bit to go here before we take the green flag. But into the restart zone, Apex Auto Sports drivers, Rookie Supra and Doug lead the field of green. We're already fanning out a line as the green flag is in the air. We are underway at Talladega.
They're fanning out already. For Supra, it gets the better start over the 08 machine. But for Supra, this has to be the most intimidating thing you can think of. Nexus is already in the wall back there. And like I was saying, that has to be the most intimidating thing in the world for Supra, leading this field at mean bad Talladega. We already got guys popping out of line everywhere throughout the field. Look at Scene and Raven trying to make stuff work early on.
That second row on the start did not start off well. The front row did. Flower and Javier did not get to the bumpers of the two Toyotas in front of them. And you're starting to see Raven on the back straightaway get by both of them, and Scene trying to follow in suit of him. But right now, it's the two Apex Toyotas leading to the line. Supra and Doug. Supra leads his first lap, but look at Scene on the inside line now.
I am not sure what went wrong with that 13 to start, but we're probably going to see it right here. That high line has practically no grip, and if you get up there, you're practically screwed. You see Javier and Dan get into it. It just causes a huge checkup. That's what's going to slow down this racing all day, all weekend, even in the Cup Series. Driver's going to bounce off that wall. It will happen. It's not some anomaly. You're going to see it all weekend. But that is what's going to split up this pack a little bit. Now, with Nexus Code hitting the wall as drivers are getting up to speed, I don't know what went wrong there. I don't know if there was some contact and he got overcorrected. That was weird, but Nexus Code all the way to the back. Maybe it's a strategy. Maybe he wants to ride in the back, but oh man, Bug with a huge block. We're already going 4 wide here in Talladega, and I mean, there is no fuel saving here in the NAPA series. You're just going to go 100% the whole way. So these drivers are getting so aggressive already, and it is just causing chaos. And now you see Doug into the wall. It's gonna happen 30 more times today. All you got to do is just...
Oh, Doug and CJ!
Yeah, you just gotta...
I'm gonna throw CJ spin.
Yeah, you just gotta not hook the driver. You gotta check up. Spotters gotta communicate. Spend did a good job there, but 4 wide's not good, but also getting in the wall is not good. But it's gonna be a normality all race long. These drivers are gonna have to adapt to it. I've seen already trying to gap the field a little bit here as our pole sitter falls back a little bit.
Yeah, and we have already seen multiple cars in the wall. We're already seeing 4 wide. A lot of these guys, this is their first ever rodeo at Dega, but they see super, and a lot of these guys, a lot of these rookies, they see super speedway and they think, oh, I need to make lots of passes. I need to be up front. I need to control things so I don't get wrecked. and that leads to all sorts of this aggressive racing. Everyone's wanting in the front, and so everyone is willing to be very hyper-aggressive in these early goings. Despite it probably not being the smartest decision, most people are going to go aggressive and on the attack here early in these races.
And what this field needs is some sort of experience to lead them, because Perry was in the inside line for a little bit, but now CJ got to his inside, and Steen is making a little bit of a breakaway. CJ is going to clear Perry as well, and you mentioned it in pre-race, Mac. Perry has won here before, so he knows how to get around here. And Steen, he's been very good so far to start the year. Knows how to get things done as well. And now he's trying to control the pace. The top 3 are starting to pull away. Top 4 even. Look at that 54 of Boko Blitz trying to make a breakaway as well.
Arctic started 37th, just as a note, and it's already up to now looking like P2. Oh, CJ wanted to go with them, but the SW cars made the move early, but Boko Blitz wants the glory for himself.
He pulls out a line there. That was a selfish move. Arctic would have gone to Scene there if Boko Blitz did not pull out. And you even had Riley Davis Jr. right behind him. Boko Blitz wanted the lead. Now Mike get a taste of his own medicine. There is no teamwork in Talladega. I said this in the pre-race. You're going to make a move whenever you see it. Oh man, I thought Sean was going to hook Riley Davis Jr. there. Now the SW guys will still not get together. Boko Blitz moves out of line. Scene in control here, and Scene is one of those veterans that can lead the charge. But how long are these drivers going to allow that to happen? Seems like not that long, but we've gotten a break of 4 wide racing here just for a second. It'll be right back here in a second, but see what that kind of break of 4 wide racing does. It brings the pack right back together because no one's checking up, bouncing off the walls. Here we go. Boko Blitz will try again. This time he'll have some support with Redeem in the 10, a little bit of side draft. And Scene looks like he'll be bested here, but he has led since practically the beginning. I think he took the lead lap 2. Now Boko Blitz to the lead. Now Redeem's going to pull out. Does he have enough momentum in that 10 machine to get to his inside? He will have enough momentum, but can he keep it down the front straightaway to try and grab the lead here at the line? How about this for the 10 of Redeem? I don't think he got it there at the line, but Redeem making a hard charge early for the lead.
Yeah, we're already back to 4x4 behind them, as you may have just saw coming. A few Witty and CJ on the outside. Might have one of them going to the wall here. Actually, how about, yeah, that is one of them on the wall. That's going to be Witty into the wall real hard. He'll drop back big. Not going to hurt anyone this time, though. And Redeem now out front.
You're seeing a bit of cause and effect, though, Mac, because we saw how controlled and how sort of followed out, how peaceful the front was for a little bit, but ever since Scene has lost the lead and sort of lost consolidation up the front, now we're starting to see some chaos once again. Chase trying to make glory for himself here to the inside, 3 wide for second. That's going to allow Redeem to kind of take a deep breath, at least for now. Boko Blitz is going to clear all 3 of them on the outside line for second. How about that? Scene, trying to do that as well. Can't quite do it, and now they're single file once again. Look at Dalton as well, getting by Riley Davis Jr.
Chase got to run on the 54. Might go for it here. Yes, he will, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to carry out the run the full length of this very long back straightaway. Yes, he will. It looks like we are 4 wide up front almost. You saw the 9 and the 29 there get very close together for just a brief second. But I think we have calmed down maybe just the tiniest a bit. Not wanting to go 4 wide maybe anymore, at least for now. Seen with the run. Oh man, we had a whole bunch of runs at this case together. Oh,
that was a huge move from Scene. There was no room to make that move, and he somehow made it work. Boko Blitz and Dolan gave him no space, and he found a hole. I don't know how he found that, but what a run he had. And now Boko Blitz, who was looking like a real fast car, I think that's Peyton in the wall back there. He should be all right. I don't know where he found that run from, and that completely checked up Boko Blitz. Now he is in a huge mess, and how about the 10 of Redeem? Just kind of pacing this field right now. I don't know if Chase is really that much trying to get by him, but Redeem is someone that has been searching for a bit more luck. He has not had the speed that we expected to see after the good kind of mid-season we saw out of Redeem. But now he got into a little bit of a rhythm, had a good run at Bristol, qualified and finished inside the top 20. and now is leading the field here at Talladega. I don't think he's really known as a super speedway racer, but he is a driver, in my opinion, to still watch at these super speedways, because he is one of those savvy underdogs that knows how to get it done at these type of tracks. This is gonna, oh, Seton really hit the wall there. That will really check them up. That is, again, just, that's normal. There is no grip on that high side, and these drivers are gonna learn that that is not the move to make. We've seen it work out a few times, but that was the hardest contact so far. I don't know if they will lose the draft, but come our first caution, Seton will have to pit there for some tires, as Vixterity will now make moves. Seton's actually going to come in right now. That was a big hit to the wall there. Usually we see drivers kind of just skim the wall and continue, but that must have been a hard enough hit to maybe cut down a tire. Unbelievable. Seton down pit road. As long as that 77 who lost the pack earlier, as long as he doesn't get caught, Seton, though, should be good for the free pass, but we'll keep an eye on him, as he looked like the dominant car early. Vixterity now looking for the lead.
Yeah, Vixterity probably has that 97 to the wall again in the back. But now Vixterity looking for the lead. Side by side with Redeem. Redeem getting pushed by Anna-Kate. Arctic pushing. Vixterity, Super Speedway Racers pushing both of these guys for now. But that's not going to happen. That's not going to be the case for much longer. Nexus to the inside of both of them to get by them. Vixterity just has the nose out ahead of Redeem. Nexus wants 3. He wants 3. He's going to make it 3. And for the lead, he's got Matthew helping him back there. And to the line, who's going to get this lap led? It's going to be Redeem, and Redeem's going to have the lead back.
Oh, man, as we see Seton coming off pit road there, he will be left down, but should be all right as long as we end up getting a caution, which, I mean, just look at this mess. We should see one. How about that 10 car? He powered it off the outside with a little bit of a run, kept the lead. That car is strong. We have seen all weekend that the Toyotas are really, really fast, and you're seeing it right there. He was able to power to the lead. Far wide, there, a lot of contact, a lot of side drafting. That is what will cause the wreck. I guarantee it. That is what will cause the wreck. Over aggressive side drafting. That's how the wreck happens. Is we have lost quite a few cars here. Watch this flyby here. You're gonna see that stack up causing the 7 of Seton. We lost a few drivers, and while this could be beneficial for those drivers, you know, to stay out of the mess, those drivers like Commander and RDJ, right, Dave Jr. in that pack, I'm sure they don't want to be back there. They came here to go for the win, but now they just have to patiently wait for a caution. But, I mean, I guess the good news is we see Anna-Kate get into the wall. As long as, oh, they're going to go 5 wide here off exit. At least that should mean they should stay out of the chaos and avoid being caught up in the caution. But we do see a lot of NAPA breaks, so nothing is official, but huge stack up here. This could actually give them a big break. This stack up could actually help them catch up, so don't quote me yet on them losing the draft. For a team still in control. What a drive.
They just gonna mainly help our guys get maybe a little bit more of a calmer period, log some laps, which is probably the most important thing, because we could see this race devolve into a crash fest rapidly, as we have seen here at Talladega before in many series, albeit the fall race here, the last time we ran here, was a bit interesting. Really no cautions in that race. I remember only 1 or 2 wrecks happened in that race. It was an uncharacteristic Talladega race. I just don't think we'll be seeing that with the racing we've seen today, though.
And I want to mention real quick, Mac, that just like last time we went to a big track at Motegi, Redeem once again is doing a fantastic job, because he is trying to do what Seton is doing earlier, right? Trying to control the pace, try to consolidate, try to log some laps. Although here comes the 05 to the inside there, but 2 more cars I want to mention from Motegi that are also in the top 10. Data, who won that race, and Chase also in here. Opportunists at these kinds of big tracks, but look up, don't look far now. The Fords trying to work together, side drafting Redeem there on the 53 is, as Raven goes to the inside, and Doug is back as well.
Yeah, Raven got a run under the 53, got under Arctic. Arctic, a proficient Super Speedway racer, as we know, won Daytona last season. Perry popping out of line now behind the 08 of Doug. Peyton out front, won last week at Bristol for the first time since Season 2 Las Vegas, as you know. First win in any series in a long time, maybe looking to try and back that up.
Looking at the telemetry of the cars further back, they are keeping up with this group, but I'm not sure. Let's go on board real quick here. We are in the mess of the pack here in Talladega. That's Flower in the middle of 3 wide. You see Redeem slightly falling back now, but it looked calm on the front straightaway there, but in the turns and on the backstretch where drivers are jockeying like crazy, I'm sure it's wild. Now you're kind of starting to see the separation of the guys really in the back. I think that Spend, Riley Davis Jr. and Noah back there, I think they're going to definitely lose the draft. As long as they don't NAPA break here, they should be fine if some late race occurrence happens. But looking back here, I'm seeing some drivers that are just not willing to give up just yet. Javier, Jack, Commander, Dan, and Gino kept. But they're not really gaining that much. Sean's actually going quicker than the ones right behind. I think they're going to need just one more checkup and one more driver to bounce off the wall to kind of solidify them in the draft. They're still in it right now, but don't know. This is where it could happen here. Yep, Perry into the wall. Doug is actually going to make the move. He doesn't wait for Perry. Most of the time, drivers just kind of have to sit back and wait. Doug made that move right away. We'll get by Perry, and yep, these guys are now going to catch up now. This could bring this pack back to over 30 cars. We will see, but as the pack does shrink, it does definitely lower the chance of a big crash, which is always the theme here at these super speedways. Is now Peyton. We know how good Alberto has gotten at these super speedways as of recently. I remember it was last season at Daytona. I think Anikate led almost every lap of the first stage with ease. So these Alberto cars are pretty good at these super speedways, and you're seeing it here.
Yeah, in general, we've seen every other manufacturer start to get better at these super speedways. Typically, here in the NAPA Sim Series, we have seen Chevrolets absolutely own this track for the most part, mainly from the likes of Sunbelt Stars, or if you want to go back a little older, Ty in the 09 for the various teams that he ran for. But this is the game. The name of the game is starting to change here. We're starting to see the Fords, Alberto building some good super speedway programs, and we've seen also Toyota starting to whip out a very fast super speedway raffle potentially, seeing as they both had some fantastic performances in both races today, in at least qualifying and in the actual race.
And I want to go back to Dylan's point really quickly that the pack has sort of lost energy after we saw some cars hit the wall there. Perry earlier on the previous lap hitting the wall and some other guys hitting the wall before them. But this pack is a whole lot smaller than, say, 5-10 laps ago. And if you're these guys that are at the front logging laps, that is exactly what you need, because you do not want to go 3 and 4 wide here. It has to be reiterated, right? You risk the chance of getting in a wreck and risking a caution, and you risk potentially losing your track position, and you need that lesser energy, especially for the top two. And Peyton is a veteran of this series, trying to get everybody single file. Supra is back up here. Dylan is trying to go to the inside of Raven and Chase, to the inside of Data as well. But if you're Peyton, what you want is to stay in the front and control the pace. And if you're at the back, you want to get back up there as soon as possible.
And yeah, that kind of actually is a point here to think of. This pack is struggling to kind of get back together. You see those guys in the back, they are just now making moves. I saw Jack make a move. He has just now caught this group. And I think part of it is because Peyton's just in control. No one's been able to really make a move. You see Dylan kind of make a move under Supra in the 80, but there's just not enough momentum to gain on that 05. There's so much momentum second on back. There's just so much air going around. But the leader, Peyton, might be dragging the brake a little bit, just trying to get a little bump draft, but Peyton's just in control. And I think if you're going to get by this 05, you need a car like the 35 or the 44 to get by. I just don't know if that 80 car can do it. Redeem's coming back. You saw how fast he was when he was in the lead. I think you need a car like that to possibly take challenges 05. Other than that, I just don't see anyone truly being able to make a move on this 05 car. This car has so much speed, and it's just controlling the pace. I mean, here comes Dylan and Vixterity. Let's see what happens down this back straightaway.
Yeah, let's see. Are they going to work and try to set up this 05? Let's see. They may stay in line here. Vixterity's going to make the move. At least Dylan does not go with. Dylan's going to try and stay behind the 05, I think. But I think Vixterity will get a spot. This is going to mainly be good for the 10 Redeem here, who's going to catch up to these three and have a good chance to make some moves. Making the move on Dylan there. Might have a chance to get a run of Vixterity as well. Yes, he will to the inside, but I think the momentum's going to dry up right then and there.
Oh, big block from Vixterity. You saw when Vixterity made the move under Dylan. A little bit of a side draft. You saw Dylan lose that momentum to the 05. These drivers, they don't know how to ride a line for more than a lap here. Redeem, though, could give a big push to this 44 here as we're back to 4 wide. Notice how those guys in the back caught the group, and now it's getting racy again. But actually, these guys are going to be able to keep it off the wall here. Exiting 4 wide, though, is tight. That's rookie Sheldon Preet amongst a bunch of SW drivers. I mean, this is Sheldon Preet's first time at Talladega, and he is just trying to survive. He got in a wreck at Daytona, so I'm sure he wants to not have that happen here at Talladega, but looks like we might lose Dan and Gino Kep. They might be just riding around looking to avoid the wreck, but this pack has gone back to over 30 cars, and Peyton's still in control. TXN under Redeem. Can Redeem hold the momentum here? He will. I think Redeem can challenge this 05 car. We saw how fast he was earlier.
Yeah, how about Redeem? Redeem, while we were mentioning that battle behind in the mid-pack with Chase and the SW cars, Redeem muscled his way through Dylan and through Vixterity, now up to second. Brings TXN with him. TXN in a points battle as up ahead, and the 77 is about to get lapped. For the first time today, we're about to see lap traffic, but here comes the 89 to the inside there for third on TXN.
Man, we saw actually at Daytona, kind of sporadically across all 3 series and even the duels, we saw some lap traffic, and they maneuvered it pretty well. So we will see how it goes here. Lab Nuke qualified well with the qualifying trim, but of course doesn't have the race pace. We'll see how much Lab Nuke wants to defend. Keep in mind, for Scene, he is a left down after that contact with the wall. You would want the 77 car to stay on the lead lap. I just don't see it happening, especially with, even if a caution were to come out, we race back to caution. So I don't see Scene being in a free pass position here. Everyone kind of jumps to the bottom here. Javier kind of gets Sean trying to put a pick. Doesn't work out. Lab Nuke stays to the outside, though, so he knows, okay, I'm a left car. I'm going to try and get out of the way, but you can only do so much. You can only stay out of the way so much. He's going to stay at the top of the racetrack, though. I don't see Lab Nuke being a problem here. He's at the way top of the racetrack. That's the slow line anyways. I should see everyone getting by him, but we'll see if this could bring back the 8's losing it. Let's see if these 3 will catch up because of the 77 car, but I don't know. Everyone, the motion hasn't really kind of been broken at all from the 77 car. He's kind of blended himself in, but we are 4 wide here. Dayadar points leader, he's into the wall. First time we've seen that in a few laps. TXN as well. This could put them in jeopardy because they are at the tail end of the pack. There are no cars to kind of use to stay in the draft. So these guys can be in trouble here. We will see as we're nearing halfway here, and this has been a calm portion of the race so far. And I think it's mainly because the 05 of Peyton just has so much speed.
Yeah, this lab Nuke has done mountains of work here to calm this field down. We have yet to see a caution yet. I'm very shocked. But nonetheless, we may have a further calm portion, which, I mean, we kind of saw this in the fall race last year in the playoffs. It was relatively calm for a large majority of the race. We only saw some frisky things happen towards the end for the most part. But if it stays like this may get very interesting when we get to the ending portions of this race.
And I have a prediction for both of you. I actually think if we could keep going green, we'll see some more lap traffic, because early on in the race, I was seeing some packs of cars kind of losing the draft, like Riley Davis Jr. and Spen and the 4 car right there as well, which I'm not sure when we'll reach them, but we will inevitably reach them when we get there. But kind of to your point as well, Dylan, we've seen how well these guys have navigated lap traffic. By the way, speaking of lap traffic, I think that's Whitty in front of them in turns 1 and 2.
Scene.
Oh no, that's Scene.
Yeah.
Excuse me, that's Scene.
He has that damage. They came in. He had a flat right front tire. They came in and they put on 2 tires. Scene definitely has the speed to maybe even lead this pack. The only problem is he's about to go 2 laps down. If he goes 2 laps down, his race might be over. Oh, Vixterity almost got hooked by Arctic. That almost was a bump draft gone wrong. They make it work though. As 2 by 2 here. Payton's just in control, and I almost feel like it's half of his car being really fast, but I also think these drivers are kind of just allowing it. They know that, all right, we're at a point of the race right now where it's obviously been aggressive, but now let's calm it down a little bit. Let's at least know that we can make it to halfway, which is right about now. Oh, and as I say that, Redeem, he's going to change the tides of this entire race to the bottom of Payton, but Seed is there. This actually might not go well for him. Oh, how's this going to go here? Seed will drive up in front of Payton. This will give Redeem the lead.
Yeah, Dylan looked the setup behind 05. I think Dylan thought that he could have slug shot there, but we're gonna get stacked up here. This might be trouble.
Yep, and look at that. The second the 05 loses the lead, I understand we just had a left car, but all of a sudden the whole pack just got crazy. Redeem now to the point in the 05, which looked like that car was so fast. He was holding the pack all on his own, and now all of a sudden he's in traffic. He's top of 3 wide. This whole race has just changed, and look at it, it just changed in an instant. The whole race just changed in an instant. Now Javier's looking for the lead. We have just reached a new chapter of this race, and this could get crazy.
Yeah, here we go. Redeem's gonna have no help. He's gonna get trained here by the 2 Toyotas and the Ford. Here's Jack and Arctic trying to make something work. Jack, I think, had the idea of making a move. Arctic, not so much, but Arctic went with a Raven slingshot from behind. He's gonna try and make it 3 wide here for P3, and she's not gonna get there, but the Fords are gonna get to the inside there of Javier, and Arctic is likely gonna be taking the lead here off of turn 4.
And he will clear, not quite. Jack is helping him out though. Raven to the inside, 3 wide. There is chaos all over the field now. All over the track now because of the 05 and Payton losing the lead. And he's gonna go down to the inside, block Raven. They are 3 wide, 4 wide there, by the way. Dug to the inside of Cole, the 7 of Seed lap car in the wall in front of Payton, who was leading not even 2 laps ago. And it is crazy as they're attempting to go single file. I think it is Raven trying to consolidate behind the 53 there.
Flower gets turned into Dexterity. Payton's involved. Mike comes down to the lab nuke. They're going to come down the track. There's cars in the way. Flower again in a wreck. Seed, who is 2 laps down, gets caught up in the wreck. And our first caution has just came out here at Talladega. Chase looks like he's involved. And that is the dominant car of the day. Payton wrecked. That car has a torn up front end. That car, if can stay in the race, will not be competitive anymore. Raven leads them at the line here as everyone's got to get checked up here. This also usually causes some problems here. Make sure that everyone gets through this all right here. Maybe a few stack ups, but that will be fixed under caution here as right past halfway we see our first caution. It's a tame one, but it takes out some really fast drivers, and the bad luck for Flower continues as she was caught up in that wreck, and this will bring the whole pack back together. A little bit of contact in the back, that will be resolved. Let's take a look at what happened.
Let's take a look at what happened here to bring out the first caution of the day. As we are 4 wide here, we can just see Flower gets hooked in by the 44 of Dexterity. Scene gets collected in that. Nothing he could do. Same as Payton, same as Chase. Nothing you can really do when you're behind a wreck, when you're behind 4 wide and they wreck like that. I don't think should take anyone out, but Payton was so strong all day. I'm not sure if he's going to be competitive anymore.
Here we are on the back straightaway. Flower was side drafting Dalton there for a little bit, but just went up the track into the 44 of Dexterity, collects Scene, collects the 05 of Payton, who has led a bunch of laps all day, and also collects Chase. But I think Chase, of these 5 cars, probably has the least damage, and Payton, to max point, I think it's going to be slow for the rest of the race.
Caution is out here at Talladega. A little bit of a swipe there from Lab Nuke. We're ready to go back racing here. Will this be our only wreck? I don't think so. Raven will lead them back to green. Into the restart zone. Raven and CJ will lead the field to green. Double foul restart here. Payton is the only car out of the race. Lab Nuke will get the free pass. Green flag is back in the air. Dylan already jumps out of line. Raven leads him. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead already, but Dylan's going to be in a bad spot here. I don't know why he tried to make that move.
Double file restart here will make things very interesting, as you see. A very interesting choice for the Napa officials. I'm going to wonder why they did that. We've seen mainly single file at these super speedways this season, but now with that disregards, Raven in the lead, but here's an Arctic to the inside. Jack's gonna move out of line though. Jack does not want to stay behind that 53. Commander in line as well. Oh, we might be 3 wide for the lead here in turn 3. Oh,
4 wide.
4 wide. Here comes Jack in the 72. Looking for a left lead in the Xfinity Series. Jack is an underrated super speedway racer, in my opinion. He knows how to get things done here, trying to make it move, and we are already 4 by 4. These drivers wasted no time here, and I mean, maybe the thought process is with how long it took for that first caution. Maybe they think that was the only one, and they need to solidify their track position now. We will see, as we already see some drivers losing the draft. Doug's into the wall. He's the first victim. Raven as well. This will cause a few checkups, but look at how spread apart the pack is back here. Still on the restart. Look at the stack up here. A few drivers that were involved in the wreck. A few drivers that have just been slow. They might lose the draft. This is really bad for them. We will see. Look at the stack up this causes. They're going to be in a lot of trouble here. We will see what ends up happening. As, yeah, we see Flowers seen in Lab Nuke, who's one of our slower cars, off the pace. We'll see what that does, but that might have caused our pack to split up once again after only, what, 1 lap?
Javier out front now. Supra going for second on Cole. And we've seen this too. This Javier machine is probably going to be one of our contenders for the win. We've seen him out front basically all day. Great effort for the Victorville Racing number 2 machine.
I mean, we've seen a bunch of these guys in the top 10 here at the front all day. We've seen Redeem, who's currently in the top 5 right now. He's been leading laps. Javier, he started in the top 5 behind Doug on the outside line, and he's back up here. Supra on pole position, back up here. Look at the 90. And Matthew, by the way, to the side of Sup NASCAR and Cole with help from behind from, I think that's Bug.
Oh, we're 5 wide right now. Breck Blue in the middle.
5 wide.
5 wide.
Oh man. Oh man, you gotta get out of that. You gotta get out of that. Something very bad's about to happen. If Breck Blue cannot get out of that, he's got nowhere to go though.
Oh, man.
Redeem trying to get out of there. They're trying to get out of it. They're so good. They're 5 wide again.
Look at
They're
the
5 wide.
Look at the run from
They're
Breck
still
Blue.
5 wide.
Breck Blue had such a run there off the corner. This 5 car is on rails. Javier still leads. This should bring this group back together. We'll see Chase leading that group. Oh yeah, they're hauling. They're going like 5 miles an hour faster. That whole group's going to catch up there with that contact. Did you see that San Angelo number 5 of Breck Blue? 5 wide. He powered by all of them. That car is tuned up today. I'm not sure, but my bad. I'm not sure how fast that 5 car truly is, but we might have a sneaky win contender here. As look at this top 3 here. Javier, Matthew, Sup NASCAR. Matthew has a win at Las Vegas and of course is a full-time Cup driver, but it's always nice to see this 90 run up front here. This is probably one of the more nitty and gritty bushwhackers in the series. A driver that just does not have as good of equipment compared to so many of the other drivers at Bushwhack, but he always makes it work. And while he hasn't had the most success in Cup, he makes it work in Xfinity. As here comes Sup NASCAR, and next is code in the 13. Perry as well trying to make a run at it. Sheldon Preed in the 00. Rookies trying to make some moves. No one's into the pack for the first time today. This is getting good here as we're coming to 18 laps to go, and this has been a really tame race so far, similar to last season's playoff Talladega race, but we have a lot of new players at the front that are going to make things wild.
A lot of distance to go. Lots can happen here in these next 18 laps. Javier out front, Sup NASCAR in second, and we've got guys surging from the back to the front. We're starting to see Redeem and Arctic, 2 contenders we've seen all day, starting to get back up front here, marching their way on that bottom line. There goes Arctic pulling to the inside of Anikate there.
And Dylan, to your point earlier, look at Chase. Chase was in that pack that's currently behind the whole field where Flower is currently. He was back there, and now he's gone back up here. He was single file with that pack behind, and he's caught up to the field now. So look out for that 04. They're 3 wide for second at the front, and they're also 4 wide behind them. Not anymore. Nexus code up to second, but don't look now because the pack is starting to become one once again.
And
And look at Arctic and Redeem. These two are just carving through the field right now on that bottom lane. These two want back up front. We've seen them up front the majority, if not the entire day. These two want to be back up front, and I know Redeem particularly really wants to be in the lead really bad, so he might be trying to surge behind this number 53 machine to get back into the position 1.
And reminder, Arctic is a winner in the draft, won last season at Daytona to make it into the playoffs, and that 93 car, honestly, I don't know how that car pulled that off, but Arctic proved right then and there in that 93 car that he is one of the ones to be at the super speedways, and we've seen all day. Now he's in an SW car, one of the best cars in the series, trying to make it work, and all day long he has made so many moves to get to the front, and it is working. You see him making moves, you see a few guys in the back, some drivers involved in wrecks like Mike and McStarity. I'm shocked they've hung on for this long, but I want to real quick point out Chase. Yeah, he lost the draft for a second. He was in that wreck, and he's still in the draft, so good repairs by this team, and it seems like Sunbelt has good pace in the draft. Well, but of course the single car runs didn't pan out too well, but in the draft, seems like it's evened out pretty well. All the Sunbelt guys have been pretty fast today, but another kind of story, that 52, Riley Davis Jr., I don't know why that car just had no speed. SW was another team that struggled in qualifying, but Riley Davis Jr. just has no speed all race long. He has not been able to keep up with the draft since lap 1.
Oh, whoa! Chase tried to slingshot past 2 SW cars and almost made it work. That was so risky.
Oh man, Chase, another winner in the draft.
Yeah, they got that 04 dialed up for Sunbelt Star because it has to be reiterated, he was in the back, he lost the draft, and he is carving his way through the field from last all the way up to third, maybe even to second here. Trying to go to the inside of another SW car. I might even go to Javier maybe, as Chase he definitely has experience on these bigger tracks. He got second earlier in the season at Motegi, and to Max point, he's won at the draft before. Here comes Chase to the inside for the lead now as I say that.
Oh, and Jack!
3 wide, Jack to the inside!
What a move from Jack! 3 wide for the lead, 3 wide for 4. What a battle, 3 wide everywhere! Now we're getting 3 by 3 once again. This is kind of the scary part. Drivers are now starting to make moves again. Oh, Next is going into the wall on the straightaway. That's the second time he's just hit the wall on his own. Nexus Code is fighting that race car. He's going to lose the draft, I think. That was, I don't know what just happened there. That was a big mistake. That car is on rails. Bug to the middle, maybe to help Ford teammate. Gino Kep does not have much momentum on that bottom lane. Perry teammate pushing him. Chase with the big push for Boca Blitz finds back on that outside. For there to only be one minor wreck so far in this race is unbelievable because the racing has been unreal. These drivers are racing so chaotically, and I don't know how we have not seen more mistakes. Chase with the big push for Boca Blitz to actually clear back to the lead.
Yeah, Chase, as you said, a winner in the draft. He won Daytona 2 in the Cup Series last season after a humongous wreck, took out everyone. But right now, he's doing it he's looking to put himself in position for another Super Speedway win by just straight up winning the race while leading. Data in the wall in the back. He might lose the draft here. He hit it pretty hard and it was at the back of the field. He might be in a little trouble there as we're starting to see the 4 wide pop up once more in spurts. I think somebody might be trying to get that inside of the 04. Jack back to the inside.
Look at this trio on the... Oh my god, we got Breck Blue on the bottom. Arctic's in the wall in turn 3 and 4. That's a new one. Look at the teammates looking up. Look at Breck Blue. We got a bunch of players up here. Perry actually ditches his teammate. Whoa, unbelievable stories at the front here. We still got so much racing left to go here. 4 wide here. It's worked more times than I thought today, but the more aggressive Breck Blue just made it 4 wide bottom. How about Breck Blue making moves? Anicate's into the wall. We are 4 by 4 scattered across the entire pack. Anicate's gonna split this up a little bit, but this is looking scary.
Yeah, they really got 4 by 4 like this the entire race. This could get scary. Look how close together these cars are right now.
Man, they are making it work. Jack trying to clear for the lead, and Breck Blue's gonna push him to the lead. Look at the underdog stories here in Talladega. Dylan trying to get into the mix. Breck Blue might look for the lead with the push from Dylan. Here comes Breck Blue in the 5. Dylan ditches him. 3 wide for the lead at Daytona. Sheldon Preed, the rookie, in tow. Jack's gonna get him at the line. 11 laps to go, and we are losing cars, but this pack is still crazy at the front. Spend is back. McStarity, who was in the wreck, is still up here.
Under
first
the
and
lead,
second
we have to
was
see
back
crazy
to
old
two.
Perry in the wall.
Oh yeah, we're losing cars. The handling is starting to go away from some of these cars. We could have a very short pack here at the end of this race if these guys keep making contact. 3 by 3, they're giving literally no room here right now. Dylan in control now with rookie Sheldon Preed in second. But the pack is splitting up, and that is not what you want this late in the race. You do not want the pack to be split up solely because we're coming to the end. This might be the only caution we saw earlier in the race. I am completely shocked that this is what has happened. But right now, I can't believe it, but still have quite a lot of cars. But if you're that group back there, Arctic's back there, Perry, so many fast cars, you gotta hope for a miracle to catch up. Oh, Raven with the big side drift on Matthew. That got close, but with the drivers losing handling and getting up into the wall, we
I think
are
Chase is about to be in the
losing
wall
cars.
here.
Almost.
Oh no, he avoided it that time.
He saves it. Still 4 wide here is Dylan getting a huge push from Sheldon Preed, the savvy veteran who is so good at these plate races, trying to take it home with 10 to go. They're still surviving here in the back, but they are racing so hard back here. You are not going to get to
4 deep. We are 4 deep behind the top 6 or so.
Oh my goodness. You're not going to
5 on the wall there.
You're not going to catch the leaders racing like this. You got to figure it out. Raven's going to duck in line behind Whitty. Jack and Chase, they were just leading. Now they're going to fall back, and now Dylan's the one that's in control. But look at Redeem trying to use that fast car to get back up here, but Super will stay in line. Maybe he thought better of it, but Redeem is making so many moves. He knows how fast of a car he has. He is trying to make it work here. We'll see what he can do. The Apex drivers have hooked up. Will they actually push each other, though? We'll see. It looks like they are, but not much momentum.
Dylan, he's a winner in the draft in Xfinity. He won Daytona last season. So no shocker, he's put himself in position for another drafting win here at Talladega. But now he's got Doug and Redeem coming down. It's back. Redeem pulls to the inside of Doug.
We might go
And
forward
Whitty
right
behind
here.
him.
How about Whitty in the 64? First race with actual sponsors on the car. We didn't think it would make that much of a difference at the super speedways due to everyone having a chance, but he is up here trying to make some notice here. Imagine if Whitty could steal a win here. Raven got 2 rookies. Redeem has a huge run on Dylan. Will he take it? I think he will. The only problem is there is a line of Chevys behind that would rather push the Shermensky's West 35, but there isn't enough momentum. Here comes Redeem in the 10. How about this story for the 10 car, trying to bring it home here as we are coming to 7 to go. I can't believe that. I can't believe what we are seeing with so much aggressive racing, but the clean racing, drivers being able to not wreck each other that much. I think we will catch traffic before the end. That could spice things up. We will see. Raven almost into Whitty. I think she tried to get with her teammate Dylan. It didn't work out. Now Dylan's stuck on the ice out with Whitty. Boca Blitz jumps under Raven. Now put her in the middle. 3 by 3 across the entire pack with Redeem in control.
Yeah, Redeem and Dylan side by side, trying, but I think Dylan's just got less help right now. Here comes Boca Blitz, here comes Matthew. Ford's now on the bottom, and they're gonna go for it. Those two are gonna get straggled on top. Boca Blitz likely about to be to the lead here, and anybody's game if you're in this pack, but especially if you can get to the bottom line here these next few laps. Matthew's already looking before Boca Blitz is even cleared. Redeem and Dylan. Matthew is already looking. He's looking and he's gonna go for it, I think. No, he's not. He's not gonna have to run, I think.
Unbelievable racing here at Talladega. Unbelievable what we have seen here. We are now at 6 laps to go here at Talladega. Will we make it to the end? We will see. The Xfinity Series has been pretty good at keeping clean race cars. We don't see that many DNS in the Xfinity Series, and we're seeing it right now. Aggressive racing, but these drivers know how to get going. And can that group back there, Arctic Data, it is not too late. I know it might seem like it, but it is not too late. The draft is insane on that bottom. You can get back up here and still have a chance, but you got to get there now. You have to go now if you're this group. They are gaining. I think if they can catch this group by this point next lap, I think that there is still a shot, but they're going to need a miracle. Now here comes Bug. Javier's back. Bug tried to make a block. Couldn't do it. Unbelievable. Can Bogoblitz get his second career win, but his first win in the 54, a much needed victory.
And if you're those two Fords at the front, it's actually better you kind of stay like this, try to control the pace until the last lap, because both of them are in a great position to win. But Javier, a different Toyota this time, trying to make a charge to the front now. Earlier it was redeemed. This time it's that green Toyota Camry of Javier who started in the top 5. Has to be said again, top 5. On the second row, to the inside of Matthew now, trying to make history for himself. CJ as well, to the inside of our points leader in Bug, but right now the pack is close together. CJ is back up here as well. Sheldon Preet and Breck Blue in the 5. YouTube talked about him all day long, and he might have some speed in that number 5 Ford Mustang. There's lap traffic, by the way, as we come to 4 laps to go.
We're going to catch this traffic. We're 4 wide back there. Other than Sean, we got so many drivers in position for their first win of the season. And Bug is up here, but he's stuck on the high side, jack into the wall. A lot of drivers looking for their first win, including CJ. And that would be huge. Just any first win of the season would pretty much cement you into the playoffs no matter what. How about a Sheldon Preed win? He's high enough in points where this win would definitely matter and get him into the playoffs without needing any sort of help points-wise. He is up here. This is going to be wild. We're going to catch these lap cars here right at 3 to go. Sean wants to make a move. He wants to get win number 2. Bug trying to get back up here. They're still 3 by 3, but nonetheless still pretty calm. And that group back there has ended up catching up. Arctic's in the middle. Data, they are gaining now. What if they can thread at the end? What's going to happen here?
3 lap cars in the way, and they go to the top. Bogoblitz to the top. CJ making use as a pick here. Yes, he does. They're 2 wide though in front of them. Flowers to the inside of C, 3 wide. Here comes CJ and Sheldon Preed, and Sean as well.
Look at the rubber, the whole bottom lane. Sean, move Sheldon Preed out of the way. Seed gets in the top. Flowers in the middle. Lab Duke's in the middle. Where do you go for the traffic? And CJ has cleared to the lead. A bunch of front runners now setting themselves up on the bottom. Of course, the front runners have set themselves up late in this race. They know exactly how to do this. Flowers even trying to find the spot in line, but she is a left down. Maybe she thinks she can fight for the free pass. 2 to go. I just don't see there being another caution. Can CJ hang on the winner? Can Sean steal a second win of the season?
We're starting near go 4 by 4 back there in the meanwhile, but CJ now out in front. It's a whole lot of front runners here. And now there might be some big runs coming. Here comes Sean and Dalton.
They're 3 wide for the lead. Where's Data and Super gonna go? Super to the bottom of Data. That's gonna screw him over. Dalton doesn't have enough momentum to clear. How about Sean in the 9 trying to get to the lead? He DQ'd the cup race and is trying to get win number 2 of the season. Dalton's there. Super's there. Arctic's back. Dalton to the bottom. Super to the middle. Dalton's gonna have the run. Coming to the white flag. Arctic's in position. Sheldon Preed and Kate's back in the 42. The whole pack has falling out. I don't know what happened. White flag at Talladega.
Dalton looking for his first career win ever in any series. To the inside of the 9 machine of Sean, who already has a win this season. Dalton is ahead now, but he has to hold off the 53, and he has to hold off the 00 even. Is Arctic going to go for it? Well, you're going to obviously go for it at this point. Arctic, whenever he gets a run, we're definitely going to see him go to the inside for the lead.
Does he have enough of a run? It doesn't seem like it. Here we go into 3 and 4. Raven and Doug trying to hook together. Sheldon Preed trying to hook with his Ford teammate Arctic. Arctic has to make move now. Will Sheldon Preed bail and go to the bottom of him? Arctic to the bottom with the push from Sheldon Preed. Chevy versus Ford. Raven moves Sheldon Preed out of line. It's going to be a photo finish at the line. Arctic, Dalton, who's it going Unbelievable! Wow, out of nowhere, Dalton comes in and steals the win, and Dalton is finally a winner in the NAPA Sim Series. Our last season champion gets it done, and Arctic was right there, but just did not have the momentum on the backstretch or the front stretch to get out in time and make the move. And this is going to be a huge win for Dalton, running the cup race tomorrow as well. What a win. Dalton wins at Talladega. Unbelievable. After only one crash the entire race. I'm shocked. What a performance at Talladega. Dalton gets it done. Let's take a look at the finishing results of a wild race. Dalton, career win, number 1. We've seen multiple first-time winners this season already. Arctic almost stole the win. Sean, Sheldon, Preed, Raven, the top 5. Super and 6 even. How about those 4 rookies all making themselves proud, making their teams proud, making everyone proud? That is good to note that these rookies can keep up at the super speedways. Annika takes the kart and racing 42 to a P7, and Doug CJ, who was leading there at the end, fell to P9, and Javier rounds out the top 10. Other great stories like Redeem, Perry, Sup NASCAR good runs. Jack led a lot of laps. And other drivers even more near the back, like Breck Blue. He almost led a few laps there. So great runs for some of these back markers. And then you look further down the lineup, a lot of drivers that just weren't really as competitive as we thought they were going to be, funny enough. Like Dan, Nexus Code, TXN, none of them really had damage. They just couldn't keep up. Unbelievable. And then, of course, the bad luck continues for Flower and Scene, and you can even say the bad luck continues for drivers like Nexus Code and TXN. This was a race where they could make up a lot of points, and none of them finished good at all. So not looking good, especially when you point out drivers like Arctic, Sheldon Preed, Raven, who are right around that playoff bubble, had great runs. So the playoff cutoff is going to look real interesting. And then, of course, Peyton, who looked really fast, who might have even locked up most laps led, our sole DNF of the day. But now we head to our other 2 fellow people in the booth here. I'm Dylan, of course, joined by Mac and Chris. Guys, a chaotic Talladega race, but a tame amount of cautions, 1 DNF, 1 caution. I don't know how these drivers are able to do it. What did we think of today's race?
Man, we kind of saw this happen in the playoff race last season, but man, what a chaotic race. We thought it'd be a lot more wrecks than that, just how they're racing. But we keep it to 1 caution today. Just insane that that's how it goes. And Dalton finally breaks the win seal for the first time in his career.
I kind of expected the same thing. I thought there was going to be a lot more chaos in this race, but I saw a lot of good racing. I saw a lot of, management and a lot of just good and close racing from everybody. But also they saw some guys kind of control the pace and be able to lead the lines. And for a little bit, for a couple of laps, they were calm and trying to keep things organized. But then we would see once the faster cars lost the lead, they would get right back up there and contend for lead. They were 3 and 4 wide, so it was pretty clean, but also pretty chaotic. And I hope the cup race is the same thing tomorrow.
And as we look one more time here at this photo finish, Arctic nearly had it at the line, but Dalton beats him out for career win number 1 and some other great stories throughout the top 5. Here at Talladega, that will do it. What a wild one here today. Clean, but chaotic. And I don't see the same for the cup race. I see a lot of chaos here in the cup race, but these Xfinity drivers have been proven all season that we have some pretty damn good drivers here in the series. We haven't seen as many cautions as we thought we would see. Of course, the short tracks, but other than that, our Xfinity drivers have been very good at keeping it relatively clean in most races. And it proved here today at Talladega. That will do it, though. We have the cup race tomorrow. I'm sure that will be so much different. And the next week, we head to Kansas. Thank you guys all for watching. Dylan, Mac, and Chris in the MXTV booth. And we will see you guys tomorrow for the cup race at Talladega.